Hello, my name is Omar ESPINOZA. I'm a PhD doctorate candidate in critical theory by 17 Instituto de Estudios Críticos. I'm a teacher here at the Unidad Académica de Psicología at Universidad Autónoma, Zacatecas. We are working here from a social sciences perspective. We have many students, we have more than 3,000 students here. We have a strong program that focuses on social sciences research. We have different techniques, ethnography, we work phenomenology, we work with life story. Some of the techniques that are not as used in other departments, in other universities, in the psychology department. That's one thing that makes different our program from the rest in the country. Society. So I'm aware that that an institution like this makes an important task, an important duty in trying to comprehend, not only to explain from a, let's say, we must listen to people, we must observe how the social dynamics occur, because if we do not pay attention to what people, to what groups, communities, to the difficulties they're facing in their lives, in their everyday life, then it's going to be very hard for us to anticipate how to solve these problems. We are not only here to make a mathematical approach, we are not only here to make a statistical approach, we also have to make a discursive approach, a narrative approach, and we must do hermeneutics, we must do focus groups. We have to interact with people to understand what difficulties they're facing. We have small campuses on different communities, on small communities, in different counties in the state, and it makes a very important job paying attention to those communities that are not close to the capital. And it's very interesting to notice how problems that those people have here in Zacatecas are the same problems that some other people have down in Chiapas or Oaxaca or some other state, where the economics and the activities may not be the same, but the social problems are the same. National science, global science has a remaining task that's still waiting for us to assume it, which is how to make our knowledge useful for the people. How can we pay attention and try to prevent violence? How can we try to prevent social disintegration? It's a problem that only listening, only getting directly involved with those communities, we can do. Scientists, academics should not be someone who is apart, who is privileged at some institution that sets us apart, that makes us apart from the real problems in our time. I think the privilege of knowing should also be complemented with the social responsibility, with the social commitment that institutions that have given us our knowledge, we should give it back to the community. We should give that back to the country, to the society, and I think that's one of the most important tasks of our time. Humanities, social sciences are definitely the areas of study that must assume that task, that must take the leading part in the politics, in making preventive politics to make this a better place to live. I've worked here for 8 years now, and I've noticed how some students think that research and science is a hard thing to do, but it's not. It's actually, of course, it requires discipline, it requires methodology, but I'm convinced that research is something that comes from our very utmost interests in life, in everyday problems, how to solve them, how to face them, and maybe if we, as academics, as teachers at the university, maybe if we invited students to work on everyday problems, maybe if they stop feeling so scared about big words and concepts and research activities, maybe they will, one step at a time, realize how we all do research. We just have to make it part of a scientific community, of an academic community that shares concepts, that shares approaches, and we can also combine those approaches and make a more integral perspective of what's happening in our context. So I always try to make my students grow an interest in what's happening around us, and to realize then that those problems are the problems that they are going to work once they become professionals. So that's our task, that's our path, and that's what we do for a living. Thank you.